this is so much pressure. Pressure. Maybe we can get it right. Look, we're on there.
Yep,
We're
I think
doing
it's working.
it.
Yep.
We did it right away.
First try.
Yay. Okay, guys. Since we got it nailed, welcome to Positively Entertaining Conversations. Oh, see, I didn't quite have it nailed. And this is what we're going to do now. We're going to do date night with you guys on our live stream. So I have some questions. Because you know I like that. I'm questioning people and their motives and et cetera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you willing to answer some? Yeah? No?
Yep, I'll answer some questions, yeah.
I can't even make that stupid thing work. Okay, so let's just get to it. You ready? I'm just gonna pick them. I'm not even gonna let you pick them.
No.
Because this is gonna be like a fun, warped date night. Oh, first I want to talk about, look, see this?
Yes.
One of my clients made me this, and it says shake and bake. So how epic is that? I have to bring the comments up because I need people to be commenting. And now I can't maximize the window because I don't know what I did. What is that? Look at all this cool stuff that we get to do here. Guys, I'm figuring all this stuff out like right before your eyes. And so this is what you should be looking like whenever you're discovering all this stuff. You should be like, oh my gosh, you can do that? Look. Hi, folks. See, look at that. I'm sending a comment. Now, you guys can do the same thing. So I expect everybody to be talking to us. I know if Kristen gets on here, she'll talk. I know Joe will talk. Maybe Mandy. But the person who made me this, Ashley, she should be on here and listening to this because, yeah, I'm giving her props. Because Joe and I, we compare ourselves to whom?
Step Brothers.
Yes, and so we're not Hawk and Dragon. And that sort of just translates to shake and bake because same characters, same deal, right? Oh, look. Carol's there. She sees us.
Oh, yay.
We don't see you. See, I'm typing and talking at the same time, which means y'all can do the same thing. Now, having said that, I gave Ashley props for this, and check it out, guys. And it's the trans colors. You're jealous, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jealous. So I like it when you get jealous. It, means I'm doing something right. Okay, so babes, we're about to start answering some questions. I wish I could figure out how to maximize this. Any clues? Oh, look, maybe I just figured it out.
There you go.
I am a super genius. Did you know that about me?
Rumor has it.
Most people who know me know I'm a super genius. Just so you understand. Now we're on the big screen. Can you see that okay?
Yes,
right.
I can see it.
And it was actually Zoe that saw the shirt and knew that I had to have it. And you totally know why. And if y'all have trouble hearing us, you gotta let us know. Okay, so I'm about to pick something just because I'm mean like that. Okay, here we go. It's the first one. Got it. Nailed it.
I feel anxiety.
Why? We're not even
Like
watching
mystery
this live,
questions.
actually.
Mystery questions.
Mystery questions. Okay, so here it is. Are books important and why?
That is a good question.
It is.
And
it's a really great question.
I believe books are very important. It's kind of about flexing your brain in different ways. They make you think. And the more you work your brain, the stronger it becomes.
You have to have a brain, right? I mean, that's a prerequisite.
It helps.
Mm-hmm.
At least a half of one.
Okay, well, half of one's better than none. We plan on doing something tomorrow. Yes. What is that?
We are going to, what's it called? Harvest Days?
Heritage. Is it Heritage or Harvest? Look, I don't even know now. It's one of them. But we're going with our best good friend, Mandy, and her family. Right? We're taking the family, aren't we?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah. See, and what's funny is this is actually how date night always started for us. Because we're doing date night with everybody right now.
Yeah.
You know, so date night for us always starts with this meaningful conversation because I don't have a lot of time to catch up with you during the week and know everything that's going on. So I always just go, what are we doing? When are we doing it? Okay, I'm a go. Right?
Yeah.
So that means you're the boss. God, the chinchillas.
They're
I'm gonna
wreaking
have a
havoc
heart
back there. I
attack.
don't know what they're doing.
They were totally asleep, chilled until we go online. They want to be on camera. They're definitely my chinchillas, right?
Yeah.
I gotta breathe through this adrenaline rush of being totally freaked out and not losing it. That's a tough one for me, loud sounds.
You gonna answer that question?
No, what question?
The book one.
No, I'm not gonna answer it. I do think books are important. But
Okay.
not for the same reasons. We don't like the same kind of books. What kind of books do you like?
I guess the stranger the better.
Yeah, you like fiction though, typically.
Yeah.
And I am nonfiction. I will read anything that has a lesson or anything that I don't know, piques my interest, I guess. Are you the same way? Or do you read recommended stuff?
Oh, no, I don't
and
always.
Number ones.
I don't always look at where it is on the national book chart.
Don't vape.
It just depends on what it's about.
Well, what's your absolute favorite subject?
As far as books,
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure this thing out.
gosh, probably like a horror suspense.
I thought you said horror. I really
suspense.
just thought you said
like
horror.
Dean Koontz's Intensity.
Oh,
is
I do like Koontz. He's a
ridiculous.
good one. Okay, so what else?
I like sort of whimsical sci-fi stuff like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah. I liked A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. So the main reason why I'm bringing all the expanse of what you like up is because you actually write, and you write nonfiction. I mean fiction, not nonfiction. And so when you say, here's the story, it takes me a while to read it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she'll say, what do you think about this? And it'll be a month later, and I'll say, yeah. Oh, what? Can I move the camera over? Who gave meth to the chinchillas again? Yeah, right? Where am I moving the camera over to? I thought I was moving it the right direction. Oh, nuh-uh. No, that didn't just happen again. Oh my God, you're not going to believe it, guys.
Doofus.
Oh my God. I'm not moving anything, so forget it, Carol. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. How about that?
Horror suspense.
Crap.
Horror suspense sounds awesome.
I'm telling you,
it kind of does.
Is that not here? Is that not what you heard though? I mean, seriously, did you not hear horror suspense?
That's a difficult word for me to say for some reason, like yours in rural.
Half of the English language is tough for me to say. I mean, especially if it's heavy on vowels, it's impossible. I just sometimes don't even want to try. I'm not gonna. I keep saying I'm not gonna move this, but I'm just still moving it. That means that Carol's in love with my face. She doesn't want to hear what I have to say. She just wants to see my beautiful face.
That must be it.
Okay, so where was I about this whole book thing? So you write, and you write what?
Fiction.
Fiction. What type?
Right now, all I have is I have like a couple of silly stories that are kind of I have a couple short stories, and I think it's called microfiction. It's really a page long, and those are kind of like whimsical stories. And then I have
microfiction.
That's what they call it. It's really like a page long, and but most of the time it's something darker, that I write about, something more paranormal.
You're paranormal. So speak on that for a minute.
Well, I've been focused on school lately. I haven't focused on writing, so it's been a bit. So
Well,
I
you
think
write in
Fred's.
school, though. You put together the website in school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
That is, I put together. It was a school project for creative writing, I think, and and we built a Wix website, for an author's website, I guess, and we posted some stories after all the students posted stories to theirs, and then we reviewed each other's websites, and but it's still up as far
I
as
was
I
about
know.
to say, can people find this?
Yeah.
Okay, where can they find it?
I don't remember the link. I have to.
Good job. You can post the link with the video. I can maybe figure that out. I don't know. At some point, though, you need to share that with people so they can read it because it's interesting. It takes me forever to get through it because just give me the meat of it and let me go on about my way, and then I'll create a story later. It may or may not be along those lines, but I like just facts, details, stuff like that. When you have to learn something, do you like to learn it from books? Or do you because you said that it expands your mind.
Yeah. When most of the time, if I'm reading, I like to read fiction because when I deal with nonfiction and print, it's like gouging my eyes out.
To me, reading fiction is just another form of entertainment, and I feel like that part of my life, that time to be entertained, was spent long ago. Because I screwed off life a long time. I did a lot of fun things in my life, but not necessarily planned fun.
Yeah.
And fun is subjective, right? I've done a lot of interesting things, I think, is more what I should say. Oh, wait, what? We have to get back to your sci-fi fantasy movie, so Beth. Yeah, super cool, and it's time to get back to... Okay, talk.
Oh, well, that's the book that's finished, and it's just being edited right now, and I actually have to go into it and check some editing notes
Okay.
that Carol sent.
Because,
Months ago.
Because
And I was like, I'll get on it. I never did.
Yeah, Carol's the one that edits it. So, anyway, I feel like I entertained myself enough, and if I stop now and read something that's entertaining, it takes me away from something I could be learning that I hadn't learned yet. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's an obsessive sort of thing with me. I think, part of my OCD is I have these beliefs that structure my life so much that sometimes it impedes what you would call a typical life. And
we have anything but a typical life.
Okay, I really did not understand that until recently. I did not understand what made our life atypical, other than the fact that, all right, usually there's not two trans people, I guess, for a marriage. And the way we did it, I guess, is unique. But if I stop for a minute and think about how interesting our lives are, it just means that we've gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because the more interesting you are, the more character you have. Typically says a lot about your background. If you have a lot of character, if you're an old soul, you've probably done some shit for a length of time. And I think that we've done some really crazy shit for a length of time. And so I feel totally entertained outside of needing to sit down and read a book that's entertaining. I panic sometimes whenever I'm reading something too entertaining, and it takes me away from an obligation.
I don't often read at home. It's usually like when I'm going someplace and I have to wait anywhere, I have a book with me that I'm reading.
You read sometimes in the evening with me. Right? We like it for the articles. Right? There's something to be said about books versus reading it on a Kindle or something, right? What what is your take on reading it and reading from books? Yes, I'm fidgety and I don't need to hear about it anybody.
Yeah. I don't know. I had one that one time, and I thought it was really, really cool. I was like, I didn't want to get it because I'm going to be staring at a screen all day, and that's what I did for my job. I just didn't want to stare at the screen to read a book. But it ended up being very cool. There was the way the screen was made. It actually made it look like paper, so I really enjoyed that one. But after that one, all the other ones, like the Kindles and things like that, I'm just not into them.
Yeah, because you don't get like the real experience. Like you don't get the feeling and the smell, of the paper.
Yeah, I like the feel of it.
But the one thing that's missing a lot of the time for me is the quest to find the book. I like the quest to find the book. Like if I'm looking for a particular reference, I know I can just put it in Google. I can just put it in Google and get the answers. But it's much more fun to go, I bet that's in that old ass encyclopedia. Let's take a look, see. And on the way to get to it, I stumble across 100 other things that I didn't already know. It's cool like that, right? That you can learn shit that you don't know just from looking for something else.
Half the crap I know I learned by accident.
Isn't adulting just Googling shit though? I mean, somebody asked me that one time. They said, why did you decide to be a life coach if being an adult is just Googling shit? And I was like, well, someone's got to teach you to Google the shit, don't they? So I guess that's what I do. I teach people to Google shit.
Yeah, I think there was a point in time, because we were around before Google, and so when it showed up and it became a thing, and they started to turn it into a verb, that was the time that everybody's like, what can I search for? What can it,
Right.
The more outlandish, the better.
Yeah, and I'm very careful about what I Google now because that shit, if I'm with a client and I go to put something in and it's like home remedies for syphilis, it's like, no, I probably shouldn't do that. But I do Google some weird stuff, primarily because I get high and go online.
Think of those crazy thoughts,
Yeah,
high thoughts.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, how does that work with Steam? I don't know. Let's find out. And then you Google Steam, and
like that
one key. It's like dominoes, right?
That one picture I made with about being extremely moderate. That was a high thought.
Yeah. Oh, that was some of the high thoughts are good, and some are not so productive, right? We can.
I've written them down before, and then went back and revisited them, going, what the hell was I thinking?
Could that be a more complicated thought? So, what does it mean, or what do you mean, and how do you know the importance whenever you say that reading expands your knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. How do you know that it's expanding your knowledge, and how do you know it's important?
Oh,
how do you decide? Because here I want to be not entertained and you want to be entertained. And Carol says, you need to find some joy. I've got the joy down in my heart. Where? It's down in my heart to stay. So expand on that. How do you know that it's something you should be learning?
Well, if, there's a lot of book work in the programming class I'm in right now, and usually whenever I pull away from that book, my brain feels like it's smoking. And that's usually when I know I've done some work.
Yeah. And what does that mean? Because, you can't... I'm always telling you that.
It's just the,
you got to describe
it's
it.
a lot of vocabulary and context, in the language, in a computer language called Python.
Yeah.
It's not terribly difficult, but there is a decent amount that you have to remember. And so it's kind of been a crash course.
You know that my job day to day is programming, but it's programming your brain. Do you remember what it's called? What my job is?
NLP.
Okay, so syphilis. That's what I look up and I see syphilis, and I'm like, my job is not syphilis. What?
Did you say it earlier?
Probably. I don't know. But My job is being a neural linguistics programming practitioner. And so neurolinguistics programming is your brain language, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we run on the programming that we have been given from birth and from our experiences and from external influences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're given all of this information and we have to essentially write our own story, just like a book.
Yes.
And so if you think about writing your own story, because you won't write your own story. And I have a hard time writing my story because Carol was going to write the story. And I was like, look, I just got to live life. You just look at it and then write it down. Because if I have to sit and write my story, I'll stop. Because there's too many hard places to get through.
Yeah.
And so if you were writing your story, what would be the hard place for you to get through? And choose wisely. You only get one. So you can only
I think
choose
the hardest
one.
place to get through would probably be our time at Klondike. That was a very difficult time for me. You know, my nightmares were at their worst, and my mental health was at its worst. Revisiting that time, you know, was very difficult for me because in my mind I go to the places that I went to then.
Right.
And it's never a good place.
And you know, actually, it's interesting that you bring up Klondike because that's where Carol came and visited us also. And so when she came to visit us, you were at the height of your struggle. I don't know if she knows that or not. Do you think she does?
Yeah, she knows a little bit.
Okay. You were at your height of your struggle, and to you it was just a typical Monday. You know, but to me, I'm looking at you and I knew that you were challenged. And you were challenged because I gave you something that you weren't ready to open yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave you a transition. It was tough for you, and at the time I was doing it, you did not want to take anything away from my experience, and so you were trying to just not be invested.
Yeah, it was such a shitstorm. You know? I mean, that's the only thing I can call it.
A soup sandwich? That's another one.
You know, it was my, I guess, all the anger that I had still, was going every direction, and I couldn't think clearly, and so I really didn't, treat you very well, and I, should have.
Well, I wasn't treating you very well either, because I wasn't treating myself very well, right?
Yeah, and like that, I also wasn't treating myself well.
Right, yeah, so that was the biggest problem. And Carol came and visited and put a little stank into our lives by saying, you know what, y'all need to get it together because these kids need you. Because really, she did. She came and, she gave some constructive criticisms, and I was able to take a look and refocus a little bit. And I think that, I believe that we survived because of effort.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just happenstance that, one day we just decided, okay, well, we'll love each other and we'll be fine with everything, right? It took some doing to get there.
Yeah, it did.
And we're in the military and you